Good morning, Velma, Hagar, Restino. And this morning we're going to talk about patience. I think every one of us deal with this issue. And my Pippa has been very noisy this morning, so be prepared. There she goes. I think that sounds of birds are actually calming, so be prepared. She's going to yap. It's just the way she is. She's a yapper. Patience. The word says in Ecclesiastes, God talks about there's a time and a season for everything under the sun. Time to laugh, a time to cry. A time for peace and a time for war. A time to live or to be born and a time to die. And there's all kinds of things that God uses as examples in there. So when you are in a time to win and a time to lose, when you're in a season of those negatives, losing and dying and hurting and all the things that you don't want in your life, know that this too shall pass. That God says if you're going through a time of pain, there's a time for joy that's coming. It will come. So don't get caught up in what's going on and waller in it. Oh my gosh, I'm so miserable and this is happening, because stuff happens. Life is full of stuff. And there's no way you're going to skate through life uneventful with no bad things happening to you. There just isn't any way you're going to do it. And if you take everything that happens and get down into it and waller and feel sorry for yourself, it's not going to do one bit of good. God says, fret not. It will only cause harm. Imagine. So you fret and it gets worse. So the last thing you need to do is fret when things are going bad. Just say out loud, this too shall pass. And I used to love what my grandmother used to always say, every cloud has a silver lining. She's right. She was right. I don't think that's scriptural. I don't think it's in the Bible in those exact words. But sometimes some of the little idioms you hear do have a biblical basis to them. And so I think that every cloud has a silver lining would simply be all things work together for good, or count it all joy when you go through the fiery trials because it's perfecting you. So there's a lot of scriptures that will back that up, even though it's not exactly scriptural. We don't have to be, I don't think we have to be so exact on things. We can paraphrase things and it means the same thing. In fact, I think it's good to paraphrase things sometimes. I remember one time I had a very smart girl say to me, telling me about her son, and I was a fairly new Christian, and I said to her, the effectual fervent prayers of a righteous man availeth much. And she went, what? I mean, obviously, you don't talk to people in King James language. I could have simply said, prayer really works. That would have done exactly the same thing, and it was still scriptural. So be encouraged when things are bad, because there's a time and a season for everything under the sun. Everything has a season, a good season and a bad season. So when it's bad, trust God. When it's good, rejoice in God. Okay, I went almost 4 minutes. So with that said, tomorrow morning, same time, same place. See you then, and big blessings on your day, my friends. Bye.